G'day guys, welcome to GJ Bricks. I'm Greg. Now today I'm going to be building the 40th anniversary train set number 40370. What a beauty. Now this one actually harks back to set number 7810, which was back in 1980, obviously being the 40th anniversary, which was a push along train. And it's interesting when you look at this how some of the parts in this are different to how they would have been in that day. So for example, there's a few parts they don't make now, and I'll try and show you in the corner here as we go through the review later on. Some of the parts that used to go into making this just don't exist now, and I know are brick built. Like for example, this plate that the whole train sits on originally used to be one piece, and it had the buffers built into it, everything like that. I've got a few of them in my old childhood collection that I need to recover at some point. But what Lego's done is rebuilt that in bricks, which is pretty cool. You get the nice 40th anniversary logo. You get one of these classic train guys. Now I actually have one of those from the 1980s. This little dude here, let's see if I can get him to focus. This is actually a 1980 train conductor. So what I do in my review, I'll actually go and do a comparison of that one. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to just show you around the box. I'm going to open it up, show you what's inside, and then I'm going to build it and do a review of it for you. Now I'm not going to include the build in this video, but I will do it separately because I'm planning to do a kind of stop motion-y build on this, because I think it's a small set and it warrants a bit of extra effort, because I love it. I think it's a stunning set. When I saw this one was the free gift, I had to have it. You know, as you saw, if you watched my haul video recently, you saw how excited I was to have this. I love my trains. I love this. This era was great. I mean, if you look at books like the 7777 train book, linked in the corner here, which is one of my favourite books, Lego books ever, or one of my favourite books ever, that has several black trains like this in it. Now, some of those were official sets, some of those were built for the book, but it shows you that kind of, this black and red theme, and I'm really hoping Lego brings this back. I personally hope, and I probably imagine that people like Bricks are probably similar to me, are really hoping to see some, not lots, but you know, maybe one or two classic trains come back in some form, because I think it would be very popular, very popular. Here we go. So I mean, if we look around the back here, we can see this is the train we've got here, and then over here we actually have the original 7810 train from 1980. Look at that, what a spectacular little set that was. And it was a push along train, but you could motorize it. And the way it was done was they had a motor you could put underneath here, and then it would run a battery, you'd run a cable out the back here, and then in the second cart would be the batteries. And in those days they were running the big AAA batteries, the massive ones. It had 3 of those in. I think it was the AAAs if I remember correctly. Maybe it was the AA's. I think it was the AAA's though, like the really big chunky ones, the round ones. They had 3 of those in it. And I've got one of those sets. I don't think it works anymore, which I need to have a look at. I don't know if it's the motor or something else. But when I dig out my collection that's in the UK, we'll get to that. But you can see this lovely form here. Like this is looking sort of from the back into the engine. So they've gone and shown the detail there of the actual interior there. Just some stickers, and you can see that probably doesn't come out so well in here, but there's a gap under there for the cable, as I said, so it goes under there. And I love this use of the old Lego branding here with the colours, the Lego system. It looks really good. This packaging I think is excellent. When you see it on the front there, the little Lego train conductor, I just showed you one of the originals of that one. This beautiful train and that classic logo. I like the way they've done the 40th train logo. This, to me, gives me hope that the rumours of more train sets this year is true. Please, Lego, please. On the top here, there's another nice shot there of the conductor with the train. So standing on the side of the display plate, and there he is, actual size. So I think that's really nice. I think that whole box, I do like these anniversary sets. I love the way they've been done. I think this is good. And that logo, the fact they've done a logo for 40th anniversary of Lego trains really suggests to me something good is going to happen in the land of Lego trains. So I have talked long enough about a box. I've talked about a box that long, but you can tell I think this is cracking cracking set. My kids want to build this. The trouble is I'm not going to let them. This is my set. I'm probably going to have to buy another one for that exact reason. Somehow I'm going to have to get a second one of these. So if anybody's selling one of these, please let me know. Will definitely be willing to pay a reasonable price for it. But yeah, I need to get one for my kids for them to build and play with, or maybe we'll keep it in the backlog with the second Wally I have. So let's crack this open and have a look at what's inside. Let's just cut down the side there. My safety blade. Now, let's have a look at what we've got in here. So, I'm not expecting this to have lots and lots and lots of pieces in it because it's not a particularly large set. So there's some of the parts there, lots of red and black as you would expect. So that's obviously building up the chassis. Here we have another bag, conductor. We've got the wheels in there, lots of wheels. Red axle, that's a piece you don't see very often. The Technic axle in red, that's obviously for connecting the wheels to the chassis. And there's our conductor in there and lots of black pieces. And then just another small one here. So we've got the parts for the bumpers. There's his hat, there's a few more clear pieces in there. What else have we got in here? A few big pieces. Obviously too big to go in the bag. Look at that beautiful vivid red on that. How bright that is. I'm wearing a red top. You can see how vivid that red is. It's all, like practically radioactive. It's so red. I love it. There's a sticker sheet on foil. Now I've seen a couple of people showing this and it's really clear when you see it with the light like that, but as soon as the light's not so good, it's a bit harder to see. So you see there you go, that's showing it just catching the wrong bit of light there and it really becomes hard to see, but I don't think that matters. I think that is a good quality decision by Lego to do that on the foil, because that's going to make ones like these white ones are going to stand out so much better on the foil than being on clear. It's one of my complaints I've had with things like my my 60197 train is the white sticker that you put onto the side of the cab. The yellow comes through it because the sticker is just not good enough quality to hide it. So I like seeing this kind of thing. This is good. I'd like to see more of this from Lego. This is a definite improvement. The shininess up here doesn't matter so much, but this is a good sign. This is a good quality decision Lego's made, and I'd like to see this a lot more. And last but by no means least, the instruction manual here. Not a lot to write home about. Pretty just bog standard Lego instructions. There's nothing exciting about that. I'm actually quite surprised. Yeah, there we go. So we get to the end page. That's it. This actually, usually in these kind of, you know, bigger sets you get, or more important sets, you get something behind the first page about it. But there's nothing. I'm surprised by that. I would have thought Lego would have put some historical mention in there. There's nothing else in the box. I would have thought Lego would have included something. I'm actually a bit disappointed about that. That's one thing I really like about the Lego Ideas sets, especially when you get that page about the designer and why they did it. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get on with the review. And here's the finished set, and I will say right off the bat, I am well chuffed with this. I think this is a lovely set. I wish I'd had the original of this one, and I'm going to have to go and hunt one down now. They've probably doubled in price again. But I think this is a fabulous little set. If you watch the build of this, which is just linked up in the corner now, you can see how nicely it goes together. And what I was saying about this down here, I'll take the train off. So let's start with, this is the whole set put together on its display here. So we've got the minifigure, the train, and the time and the plaque here, much like the sort of Star Warsy ones there. You can see what I mean about what was meant about the time, about the silver there. You can't see it, but if I bring this over here, you can see it much better. So yeah, it's funny. The light's just not quite right, and you can't see it, but then you can. So what I'm going to do is take this off of here, and we'll have a quick look at the base. Now I've built this on a green base plate, obviously, so that it's easy for me to move around, and so I could film it the way I did. You can see, pretty simple, just 4 big plates, some tiles around the edges in the middle here where everything sits. The wheel bogies sit in between these gaps here, so you can see underneath. there's those 3 axles and they sit perfectly in between here. Very well worked out. And again, another little label here, the 7810 steam engine, which is really nice. Again, that gold, you can see how well that really shines. But not a lot else to write home about on that base, but it's very well positioned, shall we say. Everything's offset slightly because of the way the axles need to be. We've got our conductor here, which we'll have a look at in a second separately. Now let's have a look at the train. Now what I was saying was this red plate here, all the way around here with the bumpers on, everything with the hooks here. On the original one, there was a piece that Lego used to make, which I'll put in the corner here for you to see, that was an all-in-one piece. And what the Lego designers have had to do here is replicate that piece using plates. So it's the two long plates you saw at the beginning in the unboxing, and then just other bits filling in around it to make it work. But it works very well. It's there. I mean, the one thing that's different, they've got the hole in the middle here so you can run the cable through. So like I was saying, let's see if we can get a bit of better lighting in there so you can see this. In there we go, excuse my crude lighting approach there. You can see how that's hollow underneath there. And that was so you could actually run a cable and then drop this whole bottom piece off of here. Not that. All of this would come off on the original, and you could put the motor underneath there. It was a little battery box. It was a little battery driven thing, so the cable would come out the back here, and as I said, you'd have a second cart here which was effectively a battery, just a big battery, so it had 3 little batteries in it. But yeah, you can see, just nice, just so simple, so beautiful. You can just look at the angle on that. I think it's I really enjoyed this era of trains, and holding this in my hand, I really can feel the connection back to this age of Lego trains. It was great. I mean, I was very young at this time. When this train came out, I was only 2. So that's how long ago this train was out. This is old for me. So this was, you know, at the time I was getting properly into Lego, this was probably coming out of circulation. So this is just pre me. You can see inside there's the dials they've put in there. That's again the other sticker that was on the sticker sheet. So yeah, they got the dials in there. There's the number on the back again. Going round, the little chimney stacks on top. I mean, everything's very, very black. So you see, I have to really work the light here to make it all work together. But everything's black. But I think it's splendid. I love how simply this went together. Seriously, have a look at the video of me making this, because it really is so beautifully simple but works so well. The way these slopes are in here, these little edge here, just gives a bit of detail. Nothing looks wrong. Like all these studs showing here is exactly as a Lego train should be from that era. Nowadays you try and sort of smooth things off and things like that, but this makes you realise just how raw and how pure this train was. This not a huge amount to write home about beyond it does look so good. The slopes are there. The build techniques are near enough the same as they were. They've changed a few pieces, like I said, like all of this base plate. The way the bumpers are now built using a Technic pin and these plates here, these tiles, sorry. The red steps are all the same. All of this is near enough the same. The one thing that's missing, magnets. So on the original, well, back in those days, the way the magnets worked was you got a plastic sort of bumper piece, and then the magnets were actually clipped into that. So nowadays the magnets are all sealed due to health and safety and all of that, yada yada yada. But in those days it was literally a magnet that clipped into there, so you can actually get those still on Bricklink quite easily. Put them in there and there you go, it'll work with another train. So why don't we give it a try on actual train tracks and see how this looks. Now I happen to have my hidden side, very convenient ramp here. I don't know if you've seen this one, but the hidden side train had this random piece here. So you can just run the train up there and boom, there it is, running perfectly well. And one thing I like on this as well is if you can see this, I hope you can. Let's see if this is going to focus properly for me. The wheels have these little rubber bands on them that just makes them grip that little bit better. So you can just see them, there it is. You see that real glow there. So those bands are just, if you look at a lot of the trains with that are powered, those have those grips on them, which just makes them grip the track that little bit better. So I love this piece. I want to use this. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to use this piece in my city, but there it is in its natural habitat on the trains. And this was originally a push along train, so you were supposed to push it along like that, but you could buy the extra pieces to make it motorized, so you could get that battery powered unit that went under there, that the cable would come up, like I said, and come out the back, and that was great. I've got one of those motors again in my UK collection, so I can't actually motorize this that way. So I will have a think about how I can motorize this one. I have a feeling this is going to be a case of building a second car and motorizing that, unfortunately, because I don't really want to mess with this too much. I might fill in this. I might put a what's it called, the coal box in there for it, so it actually has something there now. But that's about it. I don't think it needs anything. I think it is just perfect. I think I'm going to take it off of there, put it back on its stand. I think this is a charming set. So this was a gift with purchase. I think I forgot to say that at the beginning. This was the gift with purchase from Lego. So in Australia, it was unreasonably spent $200 to get this. In the US, it was $100, which is about 150 Australian dollars. So unfortunately, we in Australia did get kicked a bit by Lego on that one, and I asked them why, and they couldn't really give me a decent answer. But anyway, this was it. So here's the minifigure. I didn't show you this in close-up. Now, this little guy is important. Look at that. Lovely. Just like anyone who's built a creator set, you know, you get these like the classic heads, like they literally are just a smile. That's all this guy is. Printed in white, nothing on the back. But you know, they've literally gone back to, this is like the original set. And here's one from the similar era. This one came a bit later, I think, but you can see how similar these little guys are. It hasn't changed that much. This is you know, mid 80s, I think. I didn't check the exact number, but from memory of when I had Lego trains in particular, it would have been mid to late 80s. So I just thought that was an interesting comparison to see the difference in the style. This one's got quite a lot of detail here. This is so vivid and perfect. I think this is great. I recommend this. If you're thinking of buying from Lego, personally, I think this is one of the best gifts with purchases I've seen. I am so happy I got it. I'm really love it. I think it's a fun build. I mean, this is down as a $30 Australian set, and I think it's actually worth that. I would happily pay $30 for this if they sold it on its own. I think it's great. I think it's well worth that money. As I said, I really do hope they're going to bring out more 40th train stuff. I really do hope that is a sign that that is coming. What am I going to do with this set? I'm actually not going to leave this on display. I am actually going to take a leaf out of the 7777 book and build part of one of the scenes in there where a similar train to this is featured, and use this train in it. So it's actually like a little works depot where these trains are up on jacks and being worked on. I'm going to build that for this set as my way of displaying it in my city. So stay tuned for that one. I'm going to get around to that one at some point soon. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you thought about this set. Is it something that you went to the effort of buying from Lego? You thought, it's a train, whatever. Or have you changed your mind having seen me talk about this and how much I think this is a good set? I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you think this really captures the essence of the original 7810 train? Does it make you more interested in the 40th anniversary of Lego, going back to those old school trains? Does that something that now interests you? I would really love to know your thoughts on this. If you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe. I do post regularly. Don't forget to give this video a like and share it all about. I do have some other sites online, so I've got them linked just here if you want to go and check out some of my other things, and they are linked down below. And I'm going to call it a day there and wrap it up. I really hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you thought, and I will see you again very soon. Take care.